Welcome to the Deep Dive, and specifically, our Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into one of the really big figures in modern rugby, Rassie Erasmus.
Absolutely. A name that, well, you can't ignore in the rugby world right now.
Exactly. So our mission today is really to unpack his influence, his coaching philosophy, how it hit the Springboks.
Yeah, exploring those strategies, the bold decisions, and how they completely turn things around for them, performance-wise, style of play, everything.
We want you to get a clearer picture of the man behind those recent Springbok wins. Was it genius? Or did those bold moves stir up maybe too much controversy?
It's a fascinating question.
Here, hey, if you're as hooked on rugby as we are, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession wherever you get your deep dives. You won't want to miss these.
Definitely subscribe. So, thinking about Rassie, it's quite something how one person can really reshape a whole national team's identity, especially a team like the Springboks with all that history.
It really is.
Connecting this to the wider picture, Erasmus wasn't just chasing wins, he seemed to be aiming higher, like fundamentally changing the mindset, the whole strategic game in South African rugby.
That's a key point. Because when he actually took over, what was it, 2018? The Springboks were, well, frankly, they were struggling.
Oh, absolutely. At a real low point.
I think they were down to 7th in the world rankings, something like that. Some historic losses, a real lack of identity, consistency.
Yeah, it really set the scene for the kind of, well, dramatic shift he brought in. Almost revolutionary, you could say.
And what's so interesting, as you said, is he didn't just show up with a few, minor tactical adjustments.
No, not at all. He arrived with a very clear, almost audacious vision.
Right. What were the core parts of that?
Well, his main things were this radical, attack-minded approach, which, maybe surprisingly, often meant using really accurate, contestable kicks.
Not just running the ball wide, then.
No, not always. Using kicks, using defensive pressure to actually create those attacking moments rather than just endless phase play. And alongside that, a huge, relentless focus on mental toughness.
Ah, the mental side. That was big for him.
Huge. Not just physical fitness, but instilling that next man up idea and really drilling down on psychological warfare almost. Teaching the team to thrive under pressure, even, get under the skin of opponents, turning mental strength into a weapon on the field.
And those methods, unconventional as they were, they certainly got results early on, didn't they?
They really did. Quick successes.
Winning the Rugby Championship in 2019.
Yeah.
And then boom, the World Cup just a few months later. Incredible turnaround.
Incredible. But like you get with any really different approach, there was pushback.
Yeah.
Criticism, skepticism.
Yeah, I remember that. People questioning if his style, often quite pragmatic, forward-heavy, was maybe boring.
Or lacking that traditional Bach flair.
Yeah.
Was it sustainable? Was it just a lucky streak? Those kinds of questions.
Those early wins quieted a lot of that down, though. But as Erasmus kept pushing the boundaries, the controversies started to bubble up again, didn't they?
Oh, inevitably. His whole mastermind thing, it wasn't just about winning. It felt like it was about disrupting things.
Disrupting the opposition, the game.
Yeah, and sometimes that disruption spilled over, off the pitch, even into, well, confrontation. We saw those aggressive tactics like the famous water carrier role.
Yes, where he'd be on the pitch delivering messages.
Exactly. And sometimes pretty openly challenging referee calls right there. That definitely stretched the rules on sideline influence, didn't it?
It certainly raised eyebrows. But the controversy didn't just stay on the sidelines, did it? We probably need to talk about Videogate.
Right. The big one. The 2021 Lions series.
That hour-long video he released, publicly critiquing the refereeing, that caused a massive stir.
Massive. Huge discussion globally. And it definitely had an impact on his reputation and how people saw the team.
So how do these things, these challenges and controversies, how do they actually shape his legacy, do you think?
Well, that's the complex part, isn't it? Videogate, for example, it absolutely highlighted how contentious some of his methods were. Led to bans, disciplinary action.
Yeah.
But maybe unintentionally, it also kind of underlined how far he'd go for his team. That loyalty. And his whole approach, even with all the controversy swirling around, it undeniably left a huge mark on the current Springboks, shaped their resilience, maybe created a bit of a siege mentality that pulled them even closer.
Right, us against the world.
Exactly, which really makes you ask the question, doesn't it? Given the results, 2 World Cups back-to-back under his broader influence, do the ends justify the means? Did the methods work?
It's the core question, really. And we'd genuinely love to hear what you, our listeners, think about his impact. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely share your thoughts.
And just a quick reminder, while you're thinking about that, do subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you keep getting these deep dives into the sport we all love.
So, moving beyond just the immediate wins and controversies, what's really fascinating is the longer-term picture. The Erasmus effect, you could call it.
How so? Beyond the Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. His coaching philosophy, those innovations, they didn't just stay within South Africa. You can demonstrably see shifts in the global game.
Really? Other teams picking things up.
Yeah, you see other national teams, even some traditionally more expansive ones, maybe in the Northern Hemisphere, starting to adopt elements. A bit more pragmatism, more focus on set-piece dominance, a smarter, more tactical kicking game. They're drawing inspiration from that Springbok success.
That's interesting. So it's not just South Africa then.
Well, within South Africa itself, the effect has been profound, too. It feels like it's reshaped the whole culture, the approach to rugby there, a new level of belief, maybe, professionalism, strategic thinking, right from the ground up.
So looking ahead then, what's the potential long-term impact? What does this mean for the Springboks going forward?
Well, their continued success seems built right on the foundations he laid, doesn't it? It suggests a trajectory that could keep them at the top. And it poses questions for everyone else. How do you counter it? How does the global game evolve in response? It could influence how rugby's played for years.
So when we wrap this all up, what's the final word on Rassie Erasmus?
Well, ultimately, his story is really the story of a coaching icon rising, isn't it? He absolutely challenged how things were done. He navigated huge controversies, often quite defiantly.
And achieved incredible success.
Remarkable, almost unprecedented success. His legacy, I think, is as a transformative coach, someone who wasn't afraid to be bold, to innovate radically. He proved just how crucial adaptability and strong, maybe even uncompromising leadership are in this incredibly demanding world of professional rugby.
He definitely embodies those traits.
Huh.
Which leaves you, our listener, with something to think about, perhaps. What lessons can we all learn from his story? About pushing boundaries, leading with real conviction, even when you know you'll face flack for it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
We really want to hear your take on Rassie Erasmus's impact. Where do you stand? Genius, villain, or somewhere complex in between? Drop us a comment, let us know.
Please do.
And don't forget to subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more deep dives like this one. Thank you so much for listening to this Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Thanks, everyone. We look forward to you listening to our next episode.